Alright guys, very quick video. I just really want to put something out there that I think everybody should absolutely understand and be aware of. And that is the economy is not looking too great right now. And it does look like we are going to see things get worse. And as a prepper, I think it is something you should be prepared for. We've heard Bank of America come out and talk about transitory hyperinflation. If you don't know what that is, it's hyperinflation. Transitory kind of means it could be temporary, but as we've seen in the past, when we've seen quote-unquote transitory hyperinflation, it usually doesn't go away, or at least it certainly doesn't go back to what it was before it kicked in. We always maintain a level of inflation even after these large hyperinflation humps. So what can you do now to help yourself prepare if, let's say, by this summer or by next Christmas, all of a sudden, for every dollar you have, I mean, you're really only getting 50 cents worth of value by comparison to today. What do you do? Now that's a bit extreme. Having the dollar all of a sudden be worth half of what it is over the course of a year is probably not going to happen. But when it comes to gas, food, you know, whatever it is that you buy, when it comes to electricity rates, you know, everything across the board, when these prices start to go up because your dollar is no longer worth as much, what are things you can do to kind of help mitigate the feel, you know, of how it comes out and how you are affected by it? Well, first and foremost, saving money is not going to help, okay? Saving $1,000 that's just going to be worth less in a year isn't going to help. It's $1,000 that's now worth, and again, if we're going with the idea that the money is worth half, it's $1,000 that now you can only buy $500 worth of stuff with. So saving that money didn't do anything. Now a lot of people are talking about cryptocurrency, and that's not something that I know as much about as some people, but I do know enough to know that there's nothing wrong with having a few $100s, maybe a couple thousand, into some different cryptocurrencies, because it does seem like they might be able to retain their value and actually go up if something happens to the dollar. So that's definitely something you can do, but it's certainly not the only thing you should do, and maybe even not even the main thing you should do. One of the main things you should do is buy stuff. Seriously, buy things that will retain their value. And that can be anything. That can be food, that can be water, that can be a gun, that can be silver. Things that retain their value, or just simply things that you know you're going to need anyway, going back to food and water and things like that. Just simple things like supplies for your home. Do you own your home? Are you going to have to worry about upkeep and things like that? Silly things like air filters for your air conditioner. Simple little everyday household items that you know you're going to need anyway. Buying them and stocking them up now, when your dollar is worth X amount now, will help you later on when your dollar isn't worth as much. When those products, those goods, those services, those things that retain value have gone up in price, and now maybe you're priced out of being able to pick something up, whether that be silver, a gun, or just simple everyday household items that you need to upkeep your home. Buy the things you're going to need now. Buy things that will retain value. These are the things you want to put your money into now. Again, I'm not knocking cryptocurrency. As I've said, I think it's probably a good investment if you know what you're doing. But even if you don't, there are plenty of things out there that you can buy now that will help you later on if this transitory hyperinflation does hit as hard as some people think it is, and especially if it doesn't ever really go away, at least not to the level that we would hope it would. Certainly whenever inflation comes along, whenever hyperinflation comes along, it never goes back down to where it was. Sometimes it does go back down after we get over a hump, but it never comes back down to where it was before the hump started. And that's a problem and something you need to be aware of, and something that you can help to prepare for now. Prepare yourself now. Do the things you can do now. Buy the things that you know you're going to need anyway. Buy things that you know are going to have value later on, whatever it may be. These are the things you need to focus on. This is a way you can help protect yourself and your family from the bad times that potentially could be coming if everything we're seeing right now is any indication, and the people that supposedly know what's going on are coming out and saying it. They're coming out and saying hyperinflation is coming. You need to make sure you're prepared.